Hey YouTubers, what's going on? Airborne Vet back again with another video for y'all. And I do apologize for the inconsistency in the uploads. Got a lot going on. I'm in the process of moving and a few other things. But here in the near future, I will be getting more consistent videos out for y'all. But without further ado, let's get back to today's scheduled program, which, as I'm sure y'all are aware by reading the description below, it is about my new pistol, the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. I've been seeing videos and I've been seeing pictures of this, and I just could not wait to get my hands on one, and I finally did, and man, am I impressed. It's really great, and some of the changes that I've made I really love. Starting with, let's go with the box. As you can tell, it is black instead of the usual blue, and they put the 2.0 right near. That's really it for the outside of the box, so let's open this baby up and show you the inside of the box. 1, 2, and okay, so as if any of y'all are aware, the inside of the box on the original M&P had sort of like a flimsy type foam down here at the bottom. You know, it would hold things in place, but they would kind of slop around. One improvement that they made, which is kind of a massive improvement in my eyes, is it's a lot stiffer foam, so it holds everything in place a whole lot better. And you know, if you're traveling and this thing's jostling around, or if you have to check it in with your luggage if you're flying, you know, you don't want things shifting and moving. So this holds everything in place very well, especially if you do a lot of traveling with your firearms and you're using the original case. A couple other things that they did, instead of just having, like, you know, rectangular spots for everything, they have specific cutouts. As you can see, specific cutout for a magazine. Now, when you purchase, you know, the pistol, as pretty much every pistol, one magazine actually comes inside the firearm. What they did is they had a little foam cutout here for an additional magazine. So if you have 3 magazines and you're traveling, you got one in the pistol and one on either side. So it actually makes it very nice. I just put this over here for demonstration purposes. There is no magazine in the weapon, and it's also unloaded. Another change that they made is that rectangular spot for the extra back straps. They did away with that, and it's more or less just cutouts that the back straps slide into. So it holds them very secure, especially with the stippling. They're not going anywhere. They hold very securely in there, so it was a great feature, and I love what they did with it. Obviously, you get your standard cable and your owner's manual, which is tucked away back here. And for what y'all have all been waiting for, let's get to the features of the pistol itself. And again, no magazine, and it is unloaded. So Smith & Wesson made some pretty big, significant changes to the M&P 2.0 itself. I'll go over them real quick right now with you. They cut out the frame here to show you that it's actually now have a full internal metal frame. Basically, it just helps with the rigidity and slight weight added for recoil, but it really doesn't add that much weight. So in my opinion, they're both still really light pistols. So it doesn't add too much weight, but it does add a little bit of weight and rigidity to it to help with that recoil and the rigidity of the frame, so it doesn't like sloop like some of the other ones did. They also scallop down the slide, so again, weight reduction, and it actually looks pretty kind of cool as well. So they added front cocking serrations, which in my opinion, they don't really do much of anything. I mean, whether you grip or whether you kind of like sandwich it between your hand, it really doesn't make a difference. I find myself not even hitting those serrations when I do it. But if anything, it does have that cool factor to it, right? Another thing that they changed was right here. It's kind of like a spring assisted. It helps with that initial magazine insert. So, you know, with the original M&P or with some of the Glocks, you insert that magazine. If you do it with enough force, slide goes home, loading around, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it takes away the functionality of, you know, training, okay? But they added a little spring in there to mitigate that, so now you can slam a magazine in there all day. You can slam, you know, just hit the base of the weapon and the slide's not going home. So it keeps that whole training, you know, it keeps it there. They also changed the magazine release with a now aluminum one, and you know, I never really had a problem with the original one. It never broke, it never got flimsy or none of that, no matter how hot it got or how hot the weapon got. But you know, it's like an added bonus. You know, that way you don't have that possibility of it potentially happening. And they also added some pretty good stippling to it, all around it, on the back straps, everything. And if y'all are familiar, the original M&P really had no stippling, or, you know, it didn't really have a great grip. It was just the plastic there, you know. So you would add, you know, like the Talon grips or some sort of textured grip, skateboard tape or something, just to get some good grip on it, or you would stipple it yourself. And they added it on both sides, up at the front and on the back straps. And it's really good texturing. I mean, it's aggressive, but it's not too aggressive, to the point where, you know, if you grip it and your hands are a little bit wet or bloody, depending on the situation, it's not gonna slip out of your hand or jump out of your hand when, you know, when you shoot it because of the recoil or whatever. It's really good, and like I said, it's not too aggressive where it's gonna cut up your hands if you shoot without gloves, or if you are shooting with gloves, it's not gonna tear up your gloves because of the aggressiveness. So it's damn near perfect. Another change that they made was they removed the beaver tail on it, which is neither here nor there. You know, it's the way you grip it, unless you got like a massive amount of excess skin between your index finger and your thumb, no matter how you grip it, you're not going to get any excess skin there. You know, if you do, you should probably look into that. They kept the standard steel sights, which is a huge improvement over, you know, like let's say if you got a Glock with the polymer sights. It's got a nice ridge here for one-handed reloads, and they, you know, M&Ps always came with those. So that right there, out of the box, it's great. The sights are just perfect out of the box anyway. If you do want to upgrade though, you can get, you know, standard M&P sights. They're not 2.0 specific. So, you know, that's nothing to worry about. If you want to throw the Trijicon HDs, XS Big Dots, you know, the Ameriglows, whatever, they will go in here. And I do plan on throwing a pair of XS Big Dots on mine, which I will get a video out for y'all as well. Let's see. Trigger. They did, you know, make the trigger a little bit better. Me personally, I never had a problem with the original trigger. I do wish they had a little bit better trigger housing itself, but I'll probably upgrade it to an Apex trigger. Probably a flat one, I'm not sure, but I'll get a video out on that as well. And I'm also going to get a video out on the first shots of it. But you can hear, I hope you can, nice, clean, crisp, distinctive break, and the reset. It's a good audible reset. So the trigger significantly improvement over the original, but I never had a problem with the original M&P trigger. Takedown's the exact same. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, one thing that they did change about the barrel is the actual feed ramp itself. Let me get you. Now, I don't have an original barrel to show you. I'll do a comparison video when I do buy another. I do plan on getting a Gen 1, just for the simple fact of nostalgia. M&P was the first pistol I ever purchased. But the feed ramp is actually a little bit more extended on the 2.0 as opposed to the original. Now, functionality-wise, I've never had a problem with the original M&P failing on me. But it's another one of those added creature features, you know, mitigate something that could possibly happen. The spring, or not the spring, the recoil guide rod in the spring, the exact same as the original. They didn't make any changes there, which they didn't need to. And I do love the fact that it comes with a stainless steel guide rod, as where a lot are coming with plastic or polymer guide rods, which warp, bend, break over time. And you know, while the likelihood of you firing enough rounds to actually bend or break a polymer guide rod is highly unlikely unless you're a competition shooter, or you just have a ridiculous amount of money and free time. The likelihood of you actually breaking one is highly unlikely, but it does happen. There are defects. Nothing is perfect. But yeah, that is basically the lowdown on the Smith & Wesson M2.0. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you have not already, please hit the subscribe button. I do have several videos planned, both firearm related and motorcycle related, and I will be getting those out to y'all as quickly as possible. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. You know, questions, concerns, anything like that. Anything you would like to possibly see, please let me know as well. Aside from that, this is Airborne Vet out, and y'all enjoy the rest of your day.